Hello, this is Sean Winder, digital coach for Union County. I'm going to do a refresh series on Google Classroom and kind of showcase more of the updates that have taken place with it. So, first thing I want to look at is actually the new layout. So, what's different about this is we now have the classwork break. And if you ever go back to any of your old classes, you'll see that it is kind of the old format thrown together, so we are missing the classwork. The stream and the classwork are merged together. But working off of a new one, you'll have that classwork option. So, inviting students, same way we used to. You can actually go in and add their email address, or just have the students share the class code. So your class code is right here. We still have that in large, and if you want to see it, it's actually in the gear settings, and I actually want to go through that anyways. So you see a class code right here, and we can reset or disable. Only time you want to disable is when you're done with students who no longer need access or whatever. So we have classroom, we have sections, we have room, subject. This part right here, students can post, comment. A lot of people will originally just jump on, change that to teachers only. I would recommend go ahead and let your students practice that digital learners and let them show their citizenship by actually having that. Because at any point in time, if they post something into the stream, you can actually go into the student and click and mute them and remove that right. And then any posts that they have made can be pulled out. But that just gives them the chance to, go ahead and have those conversations with them to do what's right. So this first little section is posting just general comments, study for test on Tuesday. And you can still, if I have like study material I can grab from my drive or a video I want to watch, we can schedule that out. We save that for later, but I can post that, and then that's actually going to pop up in the stream. Students can comment on it, I can comment. At any point in time I can delete. That's there. Now classwork is going to be handled here, and this is where majority of the time will probably be spent with our students. They have dropped in the Google Calendar and Class Drive folder in there where you can easily see that. Big recommendation, if you ever jump over to that drive, make sure you don't rename it, delete it, or anything like that, because that really messes with how things are stored for your classroom. So don't play with that folder. You can mess with inside the folder, but the actual folder itself don't play around with. To start off, we'll do a couple of topics. This is going to help me organize, and I'm just randomly naming these, but you're going to see what happens is everything that falls under the CS gets dropped here, everything that falls under RT will be here. So let's do a question. And this will be how I'll start my class and just say, who was your... When we have that as the short answer, you can change these to multiple choice, but this is a good way to kind of start the period, and you can have students reply to each other, you can have them edit after they answer, but I can schedule this to be right at the start of my second period class. They're going to get this. I can have every one of my classes be asked that same question, or maybe I've just got one student who I want to ask this question to, and another student ask a different question. You can kind of scramble that up. Every other kid gets this question, every other kid gets another, but I'm going to go ahead and do all my students, and then we say ask. Now I didn't put a topic on that, so you notice it's right here. Let's say I wanted to change that, forgot to do a topic. Now you'll notice it's moved underneath here. So I can see how that organizes a little better. We can once again move up, move down, will be an option later on. Now let's jump into, I've got my question, let's go ahead and look at materials. So now for my RT, maybe I have a digital textbook my students work off of, so I can call this book, and then I just search my drive, and I don't know if I have a sample of a book or anything like that. I don't know what that is. I'm just going to add it in. But let's say that was my digital textbook for this chapter or this section or something like that. I can now post it, and now those are materials for that class. There's nothing they can turn in or anything like that. This is just materials for them to find frequently. I've had teachers who had like chapter 3 digital PDFs, or maybe just a couple of videos that they need for that class. Now, assignments, I'll get into the quiz assignments later, but assignments is where I want to spend. So let's say my first assignment, I'm going to say, is number 101. And I really recommend having some sort of naming criteria for your classes. It really helps organize. And so this is just a doc assignment, and this is for my RT. I'm going to say this has a due date for tomorrow. Now, I could go ahead and give real description saying create a document to answer the following questions. But what I really like doing is actually starting a document myself and having it in the order I want them to answer things in. And so now when my student gets this, they'll be able to go in and type in and answer underneath. And this is basically, the directions are right there for my students, and they don't have to keep going back and forth between the classroom and the assignment. So once I have that started, I can just go in and do the drive. I just recently messed with it, so there it is. And my favorite tool, make a copy for each student. So then it doesn't matter if they've deleted anything, and if a student did get in and really mess with something, that file version history, they can restore it back to when they first got it, and it's fine. So you don't have to worry about them, oh, I deleted this, I didn't know what I was going to do. Another assignment type that you could do is, let's say I'm on to my next assignment, so I want to say assignment 102. Is giving them some sort of shared assignment. So this is a Google slide, and what I've done is each person is to jump on a slide and they just solve this one problem on here. And so this time I'm going to say students can edit this file, but in this assignment I'm getting one thing turned in that I can check, and it's covering every student. So 102 is just the student's going to have this. Each kid will go in and edit their one slide, and that's all they're responsible for. So one kid will pick this slide, and they might come in and add their name behind it, and then they solve it out. And they get to solve it out however they want. If they want to insert a image and do a camera screenshot of what they've done on paper, that's fine. It's just, this is going to act as a depository for this one assignment. Another option that I really like, and I'm going to do that a lot of people don't really mess with too much, is the Google Drawings. So I have number 103 right here, and I'll show you what this looks like. So I'm going to do a copy for each student on this one as well. And what this is just a complete your profile using your historical figure. The directions are thrown off to the side, so they won't actually be on their actual, and then they just fill this in with what they know. And you can do this with a lot of different things. Design your own castle and give why this is important or whatever. But this gets thrown out, and then it's just a little different type that the students aren't used to seeing. I'm going to schedule this one out to a later date. And automatically will drop in PM, and so you can see I didn't do a topic on this. Let's do a topic. And maybe I want that to actually be a bonus assignment for, you see it's scheduled, so it's kind of grayed out, showing that it's not occurring yet. Maybe I want to reduce that down to just one of my students. So I kind of differentiate that this student needs an additional assignment for whatever reason. Maybe they're done early and they want additional, or maybe they need that extra reinforcement. So those are typical assignments that you could throw in. Like I said, you can at any point in time do a view only, drop in links for websites, videos, something I'll show you now. You can, a lot of teachers overlook this, and I want to make sure we see that this is an option. I can put multiple things on here. And each one I can change the rulings for or get rid of. One thing I don't like, you can't really switch up the order. So think about when you post this, the order that you want them to kind of notice it in. That can help put your rubric up front instead of at the bottom, because then they'll do all their work and then finally see the rubric. But that was just a little example I wanted to show, so I'll just trash that. And then the last thing is a quiz assignment. And you can start up a quiz at any point in time. So I'm going to go ahead and open this quiz and just say this is a sample, and this is, I want that up here. First question, and I'm just going to have a one question quiz. This is a really cool thing that Quizzes does. It actually will make your prediction. So suggest the correct answer. Well, that is the correct answer. And you know what? Here's some random non-correct answers that I can throw in. And so that's on there and makes it really easy. Otherwise, I'd have to go into answer key and actually select which one's my correct. Add answer feedback. This is really nice. If the kids get incorrect answer, you might throw in a video or a link to a lesson that you have, or just type out whatever you want. I really like the video, especially with like math. If they miss a problem, you can show a video of a type of problem similar to it, so the students see how it should have been done. But you can, same thing, if a student is asked about electrons and they say that they have a positive charge, you can show them a video talking about that. So really neat little thing. But I have that as my quiz now. So now in classwork, I have the locked beta mode on. It's really a neat little tool. I hope this comes out real soon. Grade import. I don't know how many of you will manage your grade book through Google Classroom, but you have that where it's going to throw it in. And once again, I just give, this is my third quiz, and we get a sign. And now students have that as their assignment. I'll get into other examples of Google Classroom pieces, looking at the grade book and actually grading things at a later date. But thank you for your time today, and I appreciate you.
Hey, thanks for watching our video. If you would, please click the like button and subscribe so you can be up to date with any of our new videos. And thank you for